Hey everybody, welcome back to Flat Top Gaming. My name is Kyle, and today we are playing Lasers and Feelings. We are joined again by two regular players on our channel, Brett and Stan. Go ahead and say hi, guys.
Hello. Me being back again.
Hi, I've got no video this time, but it's me.
If you really want to see what Stan looks like, go back to either of the Star Wars videos, and you can see him up there. So today we're playing Lasers and Feelings. It is an indie RPG by John Harper, and the entire rulebook I will actually show you guys here in about a minute because we haven't made characters yet. The rule set is that simple that I just figured, we'll do it all at the same time. Who cares? So I am going to bring it up on my screen. Boom. And now everyone can see the entirety of the rulebook for this game. In the description of this video is the link to John Harper's website, so if you want to go and throw money at him, please do so. This game is amazing, and games like it are also equally wonderful. So go ahead and throw money at him. So let's get on with character creation, guys. So let's go ahead to step number 1. Actually, I guess I should flip to that page myself so you guys... Can you see my mouse wiggling around?
Yes, indeed.
Alright.
Yes.
So first, let's choose a style. And if you choose like alien or android, it really doesn't matter what kind. If you want to give yourself racial traits, go for it. So choose your style for your character from something on that list or something like it.
I'm going sexy.
Yeah,
Damn it, I was going to take that one.
yeah. Brett was talking about being a sexy alien. What was it?
The sexy alien android engineer.
That's right. That's right.
Just mash words together and see what happens.
So Stanley, you're going with sexy?
Yep.
Brett, do you want to go with something different?
Yeah, I'll go with android.
With android? Alright. So now choose your role. The role of captain is out because the ship already has a captain. It's Captain Darcy. But there's a list of roles here from Doctor or Envoy or Explorer, things like that. So choose your role.
Soldier? Sexy soldier.
I wanted to go with sexy engineer, honestly. But I'm going with engineer anyway. I'll be an android engineer. Screw it.
An android engineer. That somehow fits. And the sexy soldier, hey, make it work.
I'm dead sexy.
Alright, so now you choose a number between 2 and 5. And this is completely based off of the dice system for the game. It's all D6s, all 6. And whenever you make a check, what you do is you roll either... you roll your die, and if you're making a lasers roll, which you can see there are things like technology or science or rationality, you want to roll below your number. So if you are a 5, then you want to roll a 1, 2, 3, or 4 in order to succeed at a lasers type roll. For a feelings roll, you want to go above your number. So feelings are things like intuition, diplomacy, seduction, wild passion, action, things that a sexy soldier might want to do. You want to have a low number so you can roll above it. So choose your number 2 to 5.
I'm picking a 5.
You're taking the 5. Makes sense
Yep.
for an engineer.
3?
Okay. 3 is a nice middle ground, so you're not super feeling-y. You still have a little ways to go for, for lasers rules, but you're still more on the feeling side of things. So choosing a 3 or a 4 is a good option too. Now give yourself a really cool space name.
Derek Dugan.
Quick. Amos Cotton. Random sci-fi generator.
Stan,
Uh,
what did you say you wanted to be your name?
Amos Cotton.
Amos Cotton. And Brett, you're going with Derek Dugan.
Indeed.
All
For
right.
for anyone who's watching, I will be using this. I don't actually know where the hell my dice are anymore. I've moved and I've never found them since.
Oh
So,
no.
so basically, this is how I'm doing my die.
And Stan, do you have D6s?
I'm using the online roll thing.
All right. This,
Um,
so, so make sure that when the system you're using, you're able to actually see the individual die numbers. So not if you roll 3d6, don't total them up, but be able to see each individual die. All right.
back to
Now, so we all got a name. So here's your list of things that you have. Pretty much what you would expect to carry if you were in a Star Trek-like environment. And now I want you each to pick or make up a goal. There's a couple of supplied ones here of becoming captains, meeting aliens, shooting bad guys, things like that. Or you can make up a separate one if you would like as well.
I'm going to go with solve weird space mysteries.
Solve weird space mysteries. Perfect.
I'm gonna be the sexy soldier who meets sexy aliens.
Oh, Captain Kirk.
Zep Brandon.
Or William Riker, one of the two.
Uh, Kirk is more known for that trope, but Riker just picked up the flag and kept running with it.
Honestly,
So,
they had to have somebody do it.
of course.
Like in almost every Star Trek, there's always been that one guy that just cannot stop chasing.
Well, yeah. All right. So your ship is called the Raptor, and the Raptor has a couple of strengths and special abilities to it. So go ahead and pick two from this list down here. Fast, nimble, well-armored, powerful shields, sensors, cloaking, or fighter craft.
We should be well armed.
Yeah, and I think we should be nimble as well. The downfall of all really heavily armored vehicles is that they can't turn with a down.
So you.
So, so to use D&D terms, you are the ranger of the party.
Yeah, or rogue.
No, Rogue would be fast and nimble.
Oh yeah.
And then what's wrong with the ship?
I want to go with Grim Reputation.
Okay.
Yeah, I want that as well.
Okay. So now, if you want to review the rolling rules, they're right here. Basically, you're going to roll 1d6 at a time. If you are prepared for an action, you're going to roll another one. And if you're an expert in that action, you're going to roll another one. Now, obviously, we don't have character sheets with big, long skill lists, so just kind of think about your character and the different styles and roles that they have, and we'll just go from there off of whether or not you're prepared or an expert in something. Then you look at how many of those dice you rolled succeed, and that determines what happens. Nothing succeeds if everything goes wrong. One successful dice, you can barely manage it. Two successful dice, hey, you're good. Three successful dice, it's a critical success. If you roll your number exactly, it's a laser feelings. And this is something that I think is absolutely brilliant for a lighthearted system like this. A laser feelings roll means you get to ask me any question and I have to answer truthfully. So So take a look at some of those questions down there that they provide, and just think, oof, okay, that's going to eliminate a few mysteries, but hey, that's kind of what makes this system fun. If you want to help each other with a task, the helper will make a roll, and then the one being helped will get an extra die to their roll. So they can roll up. So you can roll up to 4 die for a check. So now the really cool thing about this entire rule set is that I can now go and create the adventure with my d6s. I've already done so, so I'm not going to roll anything just yet. And of course, I'm not going to tell you what I rolled because that would ruin the fun of it. But if I wanted to, and I did before, my wife and I played a quick game, and it was quick because I TPK'd her. But we sat down and she made a character real quick, and I rolled up an adventure real quick, and actually we'll be using the exact same adventure because my note sheet on it is completely blank, so why not?
Right, so what is going to be our epic space adventure?
Alright, so you guys are on the scout ship, the Raptor, and you guys are traveling through space. You're exploring unknown parts of the galaxy for the consortium, and at some point in your adventures, you come across, you fly through this nebula, and just this weird bluish mist kind of space stuff comes through the ship, but you don't know how because your ship is obviously very well protected from the vacuum of space outside and a livable environment inside, but somehow this blue mist just seeps through the entire ship, and the only person who's affected is Captain Darcy. And you know, you guys both kind of noticing that he's ill, he's not doing well, order him to sickbay, and you order the ship to warp out there really quickly to get out of Dodge and try and get away from this blue mist. So as you warp out into a just outside of an asteroid field, so you can look out the bridge, the main window, and there's an asteroid field out in front of you, and Captain Darcy is in sickbay. Where are you guys, and what are you doing at this point in time?
I'd say I'm in engineering. Checking the engines, make sure the blue mist didn't mess with anything.
Okay. And so describe some of the tests that you might be running in order to figure this out.
I would be ensuring that the engine polarity hasn't been reversed, conductor coils haven't been messed up in any sort of way.
Mm-hmm.
Basically ensuring that everything's flowing the way it needs to and not going to end up with our sudden and explosive death.
Okay. So I would say that you've had all of warp to prepare for this, and you're an expert in that. Let's start the rolling off, and make me a lasers roll.
Right. So for that, I roll 2 die or 3.
3. So 1 just because, a second one because you are an expert in the engines, and a third one because you are prepared to do so.
I don't remember if I mentioned or not. I picked 5. I already wrote all that down.
Yep. So to succeed, you need a 4 or lower.
I've got a 4, a 3, and a 5.
Okay. So you have 2 successes and a laser feelings roll. So you already succeed the check, but with laser feelings, you get to ask me any question you want. So go ahead and ask a question.
Is there any specific problem I should be looking for?
No, not one that would affect your engines. The specific problem you should be looking for is in Captain Darcy.
I'm an engineer. I don't know anything about biology.
So no, you're good. You will not find anything wrong with these engines. The blue mist did not affect them at all. So all of your scans come back negative. You're pretty confident that the engines are in good working order. Go ahead and describe your character too. I know we just made them up, so you haven't maybe really thought about this yet. But go ahead, describe. You're an android. What kind of android are you? What do you look like?
For simplicity's sake, I'm going to say that I look a good bit like Data,
There you go.
except not that off green yellow skin texture that I always thought was creepy as hell.
Yes, and probably carcinogenic.
What does that mean again?
Causes cancer.
Yeah.
So how long have you been activated? How long have you been on this ship? Things like that.
I'm gonna say about 5 years. Uh, both answers. I believe it was Captain Darcy who. I'm gonna say Captain Darcy actually was the one who activated me.
Perfect. Okay. So this is your first assignment, and you've been here in engineering for the entirety of your existence. So you know
Basically,
these engines very well.
I know the engines. I don't basically know anything else.
Perfect. That's going to make this adventure I have go swimmingly. Stanley, what are you up to?
I'm probably in some sort of break room chatting up any females who happen to be there.
Are you in the break room or the barracks?
Break room.
Okay. So there are females in break rooms. I have checked because there are females in break rooms I have at work. Um, so describe the break room of the ship for me.
It's sort of reasonably big. There's your sort of few tables dotted about the place. Small sort of TV, getting intergalactic TV, water sort of thing, water cooler. Yeah. Standard break room stuff.
Oh yeah, you have to have a water cooler in a break room. Duh.
Uh,
Who else is here with you?
you've obviously got the Go look at the jobs now. We've got just various workers um, around the ship. Anyone who do a couple other soldiers, a couple co-pilots, people do so small jobs. Yeah.
Perfect. Um, so as you're in the break room, you're sipping on your little cone-shaped paper cup of water, and you'd think being the future you'd have something more sophisticated, but I mean it's a break room with a water cooler, so convenience works. I mean, how you keep getting more paper cups, not sure, but hey, that's not your problem. You're a soldier, right? So you're sitting there, you're drinking from your little cone-shaped cup, and it's empty in about a sip, and you walk over, refill it, take a single sip, and it's empty again. And just then the ship's doctor walks into the break room, and she is about your age, a very attractive female, and she just kind of sits down at one of the couches on the other side of the room for you and just seems very exhausted. Um, One of the nurses comes in too, and this particular nurse is a little bit younger, but also, of course, nurse is attractive. And so they're both sitting there talking, and you hear the doctor look at the nurse, and she's shaking her head, and she says, "I don't know what's going on with him. He seems to have been overcome by something else. I fear he's going to be out of commission for quite a while." And the nurse looks back and says, "I have never seen anything like this. Have you?" "No, of course not. If I had, I would have cured it already because I'm a ship's doctor, of course." And so they keep going on about the captain.
But um, see. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go over there and to ask how he's doing. Suppose.
Now, do you hold any sort of rank?
Um, sure. I'll be the lieutenant, the lieutenant, as Americans say.
The lieutenant. I guess it depends on what country you're from, whether it's lieutenant, lieutenant, whatever. Okay. So the doctor sees you approaching and says, "Ah, lieutenant, is there something I can do for you?"
Yes. I was just wondering about the captain. How's he doing?
Oh, not very good, I'm afraid. He's quite ill, and unfortunately, to say much more would to violate patient confidentiality. But he is quite ill.
Oh, surely you can tell me.
Make me a feelings roll to do so.
Okay. How many? Just one dice?
I don't know. Are you an expert in cajoling information or pulling information out of attractive female physicians?
Probably not.
But you're prepared for it because you're always on
Yeah.
the lookout for it. So go ahead and roll 2.
Okay, I got 3 and a 3, which is like my number's 3, so that's two.
2 laser feelings.
2 laser feelings.
All right. So you get 2 questions and I have to answer them truthfully.
So what exactly is wrong with the captain?
So the captain has experienced something called something else. That literally is the name of the thing, and he is in a medically induced coma, being out of commission.
Second one. Do we have any idea what the blue mist might be?
No, it's part of the nebula that you guys passed through, and there's been no reported problems with it before, but you've also never seen any reports of this mist actually passing through the walls of the hull of a spaceship before. So no, this is completely new.
Right.
So one thing that I forgot with your role, Brett, but I mean you succeeded anyways. You get the opportunity to re-roll your action, and I don't know if either of you guys have listened to the One Shot podcast. If you don't, go listen to it. They play a different RPG every week, and they're on like episode 120 or 115 by now. They played this game, and they couldn't figure out the downside of such a small rule set is that there's some ambiguity to it. And so they weren't able to determine if you re-roll the entire thing or just the laser feelings dice. So I'm going to rule that you can re-roll your laser feelings die. So Stan, if you'd like, you can re-roll both of your 3s.
Right. Another laser feelings in the 6.
So the 6 is a success. What would you like to ask for your laser feelings? And it could be anything. It doesn't have to relate to this. It could be anything at all.
How? Let's think. The doctor. How interested would she be in a sexy soldier?
Oh, you can tell that since you walked over, she has been quite interested in you. All you've had to do is succeed on your feelings rolls.
Oh yeah.
So go ahead and re-roll this other
Nothing.
laser feelings die. So you have 1 6, which is a success for feelings.
That's a 5.
So 2 successes. And so she relays everything to you about something else that that I told you earlier. And you can also kind of tell that she's kind of relaxed around you as well.
All right.
So as you guys are, as you're about to continue the conversation and keep asking more questions and trying to accomplish whatever it is you're trying to accomplish with her, you hear over the overhead, "Command staff to the briefing room now." And both of you know that that means you. You're both part of the command staff of the ship.
Okay. I'm gonna head over there then.
Okay. So as you enter the briefing room, on one of the walls is just a large TV screen, and it's set to an image of the outside space around you guys, and it's looking off toward the asteroid field at this point, and the executive officer, the second in command, looks at you, Derek. I guess I should start using your character names. Looks at you, Derek, and says, "Our preliminary scan says something is out there, but was wondering if you might be able to boost the signal a little bit so we can figure out what is going on in that field. We see movement, but we're not quite sure what it is yet."
This should not be a problem.
All right, so go ahead and make me a lasers roll.
I got a 2, a 5, and a 6.
So 1 success, 1 laser feelings, and a failure. What is your laser feelings question?
I wasted my last one. Will I be able to tell what it is based on whatever I can do? Tell what it is based off whatever boost I can give the sensors?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, you go ahead and make a re-roll that die.
4.
Perfect. So with 2 successes, you know that there are 2 small craft out there. 2 small shuttles that are surrounding one particular asteroid. In fact, this asteroid is letting off a lot of energy that is not quite like thermal energy or heat or anything like that. Rather, it's electromagnetic energy of a wave signature that you have not seen before. But these 2 smaller shuttles are orbiting the asteroid, but they're orbiting in such a way that they are definitely facing each other in a very aggressive stance. So
I'll go ahead and report that back to the rest of them after
Okay.
the shield boost. That's shield. The sensor boost.
Okay. The XO looks and scratches his beard and says, "Interesting. Thoughts, ideas. What should we do?"
That'd be something to field to the lieutenant here.
We should let them fight each other. No need to get involved yet. Unless they will shoot at us. No.
He says, "Lieutenant, are you able to identify which races those ships belong to?"
Do we have any? We're just seeing the ships, yeah, not the actual people.
Right. But you definitely might be able to identify those races based off of the construction of their craft. You know, this isn't one of those. It's not like Star Wars where everyone flies a Corellian-made ship. It's more like original Star Trek where if it's a Ferengi ship, it's a Ferengi ship, or if it's a Klingon ship, it's a Klingon ship, and you know.
Right. Yeah. One of those ships is definitely a Xingzong warship. And the other, um,
Describe the Zing-Zong race for me. I want to know this. Describe the Zing-Zongs.
things on race. Okay, the
Hold on. Go ahead. I gotta get my phone charger.
the Zing-Zongs, and they're wee short people, but they've got like 10 eyes on their faces and sharp teeth, but uh, and yeah, um, their heads are bald, but like they've got long beards, so they've got like bald heads. Like, even the females have really long beards.
So they're like dwarves
They're like dwarves
with
with
extra eyes.
extra eyes and sharp teeth.
Okay.
But usually they're quite peaceful, and they tend to put a lot of focus on their art, which is absolutely wonderful.
So, so Brett, the Zing-Zongs are short, bald, but with large bearded, like humanoids, with 10 eyes and sharp teeth, but they're usually quite peaceful. And Amos, what is the other race? This one I want you to make a feelings roll, or make a lasers roll for.
Okay.
And I would say that you are prepared and an expert in identifying races.
Okay, so that's 3.
Yep. And you have to roll a 1 or a 2.
No, I failed all of those.
Okay. So you are unable to identify the other ship. But you do know that the Zing-Zongs are usually quite peaceful, and so to see them in sort of this aggressive stance is quite unusual. Now, regarding the Zing-Zongs, you do know that they are typically friendly with the consortium. I wouldn't say that you're allies, but you're not hostile either. And your two groups have assisted each other at times in the past.
Right. So perhaps we should try to open communications with them?
Okay. So, so the XO kind of looks out the display and says, "Yes, excellent idea." He turns around and, "Computer, open communications with the Zing-Zong war vessel." And up appears this 10-eyed, sharp-toothed dwarf with no hair and a big, long, red beard, and since the males and the females all look this way, you're not quite sure which gender, but the person says, "Hello, Consortium. What are you doing out here in this sector of space?"
Well, we sort of escaped some blue mist a few nebula back, and
Ah, that stuff got you guys too, huh? That sucks.
yeah, I got the captain. He's feeling pretty sick.
Wait, Captain Darcy? It got Captain Darcy?
Yeah, Captain Darcy.
Oh, that's wonderful. We, because of your grim reputation, we don't really like him. We think the rest of you guys are pretty cool, but he's a dick.
Yeah, nobody likes Darcy.
The Zing-Zong says, "I'm Almyra, queen of this vessel."
Pleased to meet you.
Consortium Ship Raptor, we are in need of assistance.
Yeah, so we've seen you're in attack mode. That's a bit odd for you guys.
Yes.
What's the problem?
We're usually so sweet and cuddly.
but for some reason, these Aluskins, they decided to come and destroy the artifact.
The artifact.
The artifact!
Right. And this is a bad thing? Yes?
Bad? The artifact was placed by our forefathers many, many generations ago.
Okay.
It's
Deal-
kind of important to us.
Kind of important. Of course. Yeah, we should help. We'll help you with your fight.
Oh, thank you. I was hoping that you would do that.
Yeah.
Because, see, even though we're so peaceful and we're in a warship after all, the Aluskins, they could just destroy us without even trying.
Yes.
We are pack-led.
So what would you like to do?
Should we fire the photon torpedoes then? Yeah. Firing the shoot at the other ship, the bad guys.
Okay, go ahead and make me a lasers roll to do so.
Oh God. Yeah. And that's with a how many dice?
You're kind of shooting from the hip, and just went from hey let's talk to hey let's shoot. So I'd say that's 2. You're an expert at shooting, but you're not quite ready for it.
Okay. Oh. Well, I got 3 and a 5, so it's a question and a fail.
Okay. So what is your lasers feeling question?
So who's the other ship? Like, what does the other ship belong to?
So the other ship belongs to the Aluskins. The Aluskins are kind of space whale-like creatures. They typically don't need ships, but they travel in ships for convenience sake, and that way they can all kind of stay together and travel together. But they're spacefaring whales, and they're also usually quite peaceful. But their sector is actually on the very far side of the galaxy, and so it's really weird to see them out here. And looks like we had Mr. Thomas join us. What's going on? Thomas? Hello? Are you...
1 second.
Oh, hello, 1 sec, okay.
Hello.
What's up?
Not
So we're already started, but that's perfectly fine. Character creation is easy enough. So we can throw in another character. So let me share. So what I need you to do is grab a sheet of paper. And let's make your character. And then you can join us in our intense negotiations. Isn't that the line from Star Wars, Padme Amidala? It's intense negotiations, something like that?
Intense? I think there was something.
Aggressive negotiations.
Aggressive negotiation.
Aggressive negotiation, that was it. Ah, I need to turn in my nerd card now.
These are
Right.
aggressive.
There's no need for that. It's okay to miss lines from the prequels.
It's acceptable, right?
Absolutely. Oh no, your screen is turned infinite.
Did it get fixed?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. So, first choose a style from one of these. I think I set my screen right. That's there. Now we can only see that. So choose one of these from styles. We already have Android and Sexy chosen for, so having a couple sexy people might cause problems.
I doubt it. We could always use more sexy.
Thomas, are you there?
Yeah,
Okay.
trying to read it, but it's kind of small print and
Let's see if I can make it a little bigger for you. Oh, and
back and forth.
might help if I resend the link and you can open it up on your own screen then. Copy link address. There. So that now you can open it up in your own screen and be able to see it better.
Much better. Hmm. Okay. What do I tell you?
So which one of those styles sounds good for you?
Um, I'm kind of thinking hot shot.
Hotshot? All right.
I I have a character that I really enjoy that kind of um, sarcastic, and I
Okay.
the hot shot.
All right. What role are you going to play? We already have an explorer and a soldier. Or,
Engineer.
sorry, an
I'm an
engineer.
engineer.
Engineer and a soldier.
Um, I'm thinking we would probably make a pretty good explorer.
Okay. Explorer works. Now, choose a number from 2 to 5. There are two types of rolls, lasers rolls and feelings rolls, and all those really mean is whether you roll below your number or above your number, with lasers needing to roll under, so if you choose a 4 or a 5, you'll be better at lasers, and 2 and 3 being better at feelings. So pick a number from 2 to 5, depending on if you want to be better at technology and science or better at diplomacy and seduction.
Okay, let's say 3.
3. And what is your character's name going to be?
Hmm. Hmm. That that cannot be an interesting one. Um, let's just use Graham. As no name doesn't recur. I know. Alric.
Alvin?
Alric.
All right.
This is it.
Okay. And choose one of your character goals from the list down below.
It's definitely creepy and awesome.
Okay. All right. So when we left off, we were beginning some aggressive negotiations with Lieutenant Cotton taking a shot at the Aluskan ship. Although, do you still want to do that, knowing that the Aluskans are also usually peaceful, but not typically belonging in this part of the galaxy?
Maybe we should hold off then.
Okay.
Actually, what's sort of the consortium's uh, relationship with the Alaskans?
The consortium's relationship with the Aluskans is actually quite peaceful. Back when the two races were first discovered, the Aluskans were a lot more. There was a lot of tension, and the Aluskans would eat and destroy consortium ships that were left parked stationary too long because they thought they were derelict ships. But after that whole mess got cleared up, things improved, and now they're actually quite friendly with each other. Again, not quite on the Allies stage, but if someone were to formalize that, they would probably sign it.
Then, can we open 2 comm lines?
Sure.
That's just a diplomat. How would I do this? Oh.
So the number 2 turns around and says, "Computer, open a second comm line to the Aluskans. Right away." Ba-da-boop. And the video screen kind of splits in half, so you see the Zing-Zong on one side and the Aluskans on the other side. And the Aluskans, like I said before, these kind of whale-like creatures. They're just massive space whales. And Consortium Ship Raptor. How may we be of service to you?
So you two appear to be at odds. What's the problem?
There's no problem here. In fact, we don't know why the Zing-Zong are challenging us. We simply wish to destroy this one particular asteroid because it's in our way.
I see. Well, I believe that asteroid is of some importance to the Zingzong. It's a ancient artifact.
Why would a rock be of importance to them?
It was left there by their one of their ancestors. Yes.
You hear the Aluskan, the Zing-Zong Queen.
You stupid space fish! It's not the asteroid itself. It's the temple inside the asteroid that is important to us.
Oh, too bad. We still feel the need to destroy this one rock without any other justification for doing so other than pure desire. And you see the Zing-Zong kind of shake her head and,
See, these guys, they've been like this the whole time. Just very unreasonable.
Surely there must be some other rock you can destroy. There's plenty out there.
Derek, do you want to make me a lasers roll to see if there are other rocks like emitting the same kind of signature or anything special about this rock?
Yes, I would be happy to.
And while he's doing that, Amos, would you like to make me a feelings roll to try and negotiate with them?
That's a 3.
And might as well keep everyone involved. We'll do Thomas in a second.
I have a 3, a 4, and a 5.
Okay, so 2 successes and laser feelings. Ask your question.
Are there any other rocks similar to this one?
Absolutely not. This is the only one in this field.
Yeah. Bollocks.
I got 2 successes and a fail.
Okay. The Aluskans look at you and say, or look through the screen at you and say, "That would be quite reasonable. However, for some reason, we cannot take a reasonable answer right now. So, too bad." So
Like,
Thomas,
this is... Oh, good.
why don't you make me a feelings roll as well, to see if you can tell whether or not these Aluskans are acting normally for themselves. So roll 3d6s, and then read the value of each, not the combined total. I guess. There we go. I don't need to be keeping myself in the center frame here.
Okay. Well, been forever since I pulled out actual dice.
Yeah. Roll 20 can be that way.
3, 6, 3, 8. You said 4 or 3? He said,
Just 3d6s.
okay. It was 3, 6, and 3.
3, 6, and 3, and your number was 3, right?
Yeah.
So you have a success and 2 laser feelings. So with when you roll your number, it's neither a success nor a failure. It's instead a laser feelings, which means you get to ask me anything that you want, and I have to answer truthfully. So you have 2 laser feelings. You get 2 questions. What are your questions? I'm sorry?
The first one I think would be if it is possible to remove this temple from the rock.
Hmm. Would it be possible? I would say no, because the temple has actually been built into the rock, and a lot of the shrines and things like that are carved out of the asteroid stone.
Okay. So we have to pick one side of that.
So you get one more question. And it can be absolutely anything, including how do we, or including and up to what is going on and how do we solve this problem.
I the next one is what is the cause of these whale people's desire to blow up this particular rock?
The cause of their desire is actually alien brainworms. So at some point, this ship of whales has been infected by alien brainworms, and they are taking over the whales' brains.
So I would relay this to others and
Sure. So what do you guys do with this new information? That the whales aren't acting right, and maybe some of their bioscans come up with extra life forms inside each of the whales, which is just kind of odd.
Can I make an engineering roll to see if I can disable their ship in some way?
You absolutely can.
Three or two die.
I would say 2, since you said earlier that you were very good at well, make it 3. Since you're very good at engineering systems, things like that, you may not necessarily just be looking at pure violence, but
I've got 2 5s and a 6.
2 5s and a 6, so you have 2 laser feelings and a failure.
Damn it.
But you get the opportunity to re-roll laser feelings.
Right. Does their ship have a specific weakness that we can exploit without harming them?
Yes. The engine compartment is quite exposed. In fact, most of the ship is exposed because these are space whales. They are able to survive on their own. Out in space, they don't actually need the ship. The whole thing's kind of just one of those. Like, I don't know if you've been to Disneyland. You've seen the trains that are just kind of a roof and a floor. People ride along. It's kind of like that, but only in space. So yeah, the engine compartment is quite exposed. And one more question.
I suppose the last question should be, is there anyone in the engineering compartment that might get injured if we disable it?
Not at this time. So you get to re-roll those 2 die.
Alright. I got a 2 and another 5.
All right. Do you want to ask another question, or do you want to just re-roll it?
I want to re-roll that.
Okay. Because you've kind of got your information by now. You just have to follow through on it.
Right, I got a 2.
All right, 2 successes. So you find that engine compartment, and you are able to lock on specific coordinates for it, and you can pass that to weapons if you would like.
I would like. And, of course, explain the idea, don't kill anybody.
So, Amos, what are you going to do with this information?
We're gonna fire it. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's shoot them where it hurts.
All right. And I'd say that you're an expert at shooting, and you are prepared to do so. So that's 3 dice. Now, something I like about this system is very freeform. This typically would be a lasers roll, but because you are a sexy soldier, would you be making the shot kind of more militaristically and therefore keep it lasers, or would you be making the shot passionately and making it a feelings roll? And if you want to use your feelings for this, you have to explain to me how you are passionately getting ready to make the shot.
Well, I risk it. I don't really want to risk it. I'm passionate about it because I so want to keep these ding dongs. I still want to keep their temple from being destroyed because that ding dong.
The bald, large bearded, 10-eyed, sharp-toothed ship queen of the Zing Zongs. Yes.
It's my entire goal is sex aliens. And it's just been achieved.
Everyone has their fetish, bro.
Yeah, Thomas, we described them kind of like space dwarves that were bald with 10 eyes and really sharp teeth.
Okay.
And even the women had beards. So go ahead and make your feelings roll to attack.
Did I actually roll? I did. Okay, I got a question and 2 successes.
Awesome. What is your question? If you have one at this point.
I don't really have a question. Yeah, I think so. Just reroll.
Okay.
That was no success.
Another so 3 successes?
Yep.
So you have a critical success. You were able to shoot this ship so successfully that what weapon did you use to fire with at them?
The photon torpedoes.
All right. So the photon torpedoes fly forth, and describe where you hit on the engine compartment that you don't injure anyone, but you destroy their engines.
We hit like. I'm imagining sort of this shit. We sort of hit it. We get such an exact shot on one of the control panels for the engine.
Mm-hmm.
It shuts it down without causing too large an explosion that doesn't kill anything.
I like it. I like it. So that happens as you described it, and on the view screen you kind of see the Aluskan ship rock and shake, and the whales. I mean, it's a giant whale, so there's not a lot of facial expression, but it kind of looks around a little bit and it says, "Oh, you should not have done that. You see, we still have weapons," and you can tell that they are charging a couple of their torpedoes that are able to fire even when all power is lost in the ship. And so you see the Zing Zong ship start to maneuver, and the Zing Zong Queen says,
Not over my dead body, you won't.
and it all kind of pans out in slow motion, but you see the Zing Zong ship fly between the Aluskan ship and the asteroid just as a torpedo launches out, and one success, and it strikes the aft portion of the Zing Zong ship, and you see on the view frame from your comms channel all the Zing Zongs shake around, and the Queen falls to the floor, and she's starting to get herself up, but she gets up with her hindquarters to the camera, so you see kind of her underwear as she pushes down her skirt and kind of puts herself back together. And another Zing Zong in the back corner of the bridge says,
Captain, we have been hit. No! Stabilize. We cannot crash into the temple. That would be so against everything that we were trying to do with this maneuver.
and they start spinning wildly out of control.
Do we have any type of tractor controls?
You absolutely do.
Cool. I want to see if I can catch him.
Go for it. Lasers, definitely lasers.
Lasers! I love lasers! A 6, a 5, and a 3.
So a question and a success.
how do they still have weapons?
You believe, not you believe, the brainworms were able to get the ship rewired that it could be manually triggered. So kind of like a modern pistol, you hit the hammer onto the spark plug and it caused an explosion. Something similar like that. It was more of they had rewired them to be more mechanical, and so all they had to do was pull a lever and the torpedo launched off. It was
All
you don't,
right.
but they can't repeat that stunt anymore.
Well, I rolled a 4, so
All
I've got
right.
2 successes.
So you're able to catch and stabilize the ship, but because of how tractor beams work, on your viewport of all the Zing-Zongs, you still see them kind of lurch and shake again as they stabilize, and someone falls over a banister in the back of the screen, and you kind of see them brushing themselves off.
Excellent. Stanley, go get your girlfriend. Get after it, boy.
Right.
And the Aluskins say, "Oh, that did not work like we thought."
So, do we know if they'd have any sort of shots left in there?
They do not.
Okay.
And I think this is a great place for a break because I hear my little one crying, so I'll be back in just a minute. So why don't we take about 5 minutes and we'll come back at 9:30, unless my little one's still fussing by then. All
You
right,
got it, boss.
we'll be back.
Care about my screen resolution. Stupid Windows 10.
Well, so far I like success or fail system.
I'm sorry?
But so far I like the success or fail system.
Yeah, me too.
Much,
It's not overly complicated and it's easy to get through. You can
yeah,
actually get something done.
much easier than like D&D and Pathfinder.
Well, that's honestly why I kind of try to avoid those. Because the dice system, like I have to roll like 5 dice 6 times to figure out whether or not I hit a son of a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, we were actually talking because I have D&D 5th edition and more stronger games that I GM for, but we're home brewing everything. So
And I understand why.
we were talking because all our players are into the role play and the storytelling and the combat, bogging it all down. So I think I might suggest using a system like this for dice rolls for combat.
I I understand why people like D&D. It definitely has a lot of stuff it can offer. It's just the dice rolling aspect of it is what really kills me. So I'd have to find someone who's willing to kind of streamline that and
Okay, let me pull up my roll 20 and I'll give you the range for it. Because we're looking for more players and GMs. That's the link. We were on the every day, but lately there's only been one other player, and I don't particularly like the solo campaign. They haven't been doing much. But if you want, you can join up and
Yeah, I brought it up. It just says I'm not authorized.
yeah,
Yeah.
you should be able. Uh, what's the? Oh, actually, never mind. I can give you a actual phone link. One thing I do is I give everyone 3M status. So there's nothing hidden from any of the players. And we're kind of homebrewing it all as we talk or yeah.
Oh, okay. Hold on. No, I don't want to create a damn account.
But yeah, you actually don't even need a roll for the account to play. We use Skype, so I can just give you my Skype contact.
How come you give someone this?
Part of it co-op, school building, and like pieces and stuff are built around what players describe. I I I kind of just say, okay, there's nothing hidden from any of the players, so anything we write down with handouts and stuff like that is available for everyone.
Okay.
But
So
any player could GM a session if they wanted to.
Fair enough.
all right. So she's a little unhappy. So we should wrap this up quickly. But you're basically there. So you've caught the Zing Zong ship in the tractor beam. You have figured out that the Aliskans had one last shot that they could have made to try and take out the temple. What do you want to do to stop these alien brainworms from accomplishing their goals? Oh, Stan, I think you're muted if you were trying to say anything.
Am I muted?
You were muted, but you're not now.
Okay. So they've still got one shot?
No, they've already used it.
Alright. So they're just sort of floating about in space with brainworms?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I would suggest we send over a medical team to see if we can isolate the brainworms and remove them. Preferably without,
I'm gonna...
murder.
Yeah. We should send the doctor lady from before over.
Okay.
Or maybe the nurse first, in case they're infectious.
Okay. I think that sounds like the perfect kind of away mission for our explorer.
Good idea. Yeah, send the explorer and the nurse.
So Thomas, if you would like to make a lasers roll to pilot over there and accomplish that.
One.
So 3d6s.
1, 6, and
1 and what?
1 and 2 6s.
1 and 2 sixes. So you kind of succeed. So you make it over there and you deliver the team, and they are able to.
Clover, not a pilot.
So you deliver the team over there, and they are able to start treating the Aleskins, and they are able to cure them of their brainworms.
Awesome.
All right, and that's it. Good job, guys.
It's over?
Yeah, I need to go. But it's also kind of one of those short episodic style RPGs that doesn't need to be too in-depth.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that looks like I would really enjoy playing the game sometime.
Yeah, it's a bummer you joined us so late. But, life happens.
Yeah, I had a 6-hour D&D session earlier on no sleep, so I kinda overslept.
Yeah, it's alright. Alright, well, thank you all for watching, and we'll hopefully see you again. Hopefully you enjoyed Lasers and Feelings. I think we did. And we will see you all next time. And if you three want to stay and chat, go for it. I'll keep the window open after we stop broadcasting here in a second. So for those watching us live, thank you very much. See you next time.